Hello, Aries Rising. This is your monthly tarot checkup for the month of July 2024. My name's Podkane, and if you're new here, you don't know what your rising sign is, what that even is, check the link in the description below along with instructions to get your full natal chart. And you'll be looking for the ascendant, which is another word for rising sign. And then come back, maybe not to this video, but I have all 12 rising signs available. Having said that, let's switch over to show you what cards I'm going to be using today. I'm going to use the As Above and So Below decks, which pair together, and it's like so perfect for this reading. So I'm going to use them for everyone this month. And then I also have a oracle card from the Spirit Animal deck, and I'm going to get also a Everyday Witch spell from the spell deck. And if you're not interested in that, it's all good. But I just thought it'd be fun to do something a little different this time. So having said all of that, I'm actually going to pull all your cards off screen because I have to pull minimum 26 cards, and let's just save everybody's time. So I'll be right back. Okay, Aries Rising. So we've got your first round here. This is all exterior. What's going on in your everyday life, and the deck that I chose has images of things of everyday life. No metaphors or archetypes here. It's just very practical imagery for the practical part of this spread. For your, here, let me show this to you. Your animal deck, animal spirit deck, we've got the rattlesnake. The experiences that you're presently going through are an initiation into fulfilling your purpose as a healer. And I can definitely see that you're going through some things just from pulling these cards. So let's get into it. So first off, I didn't grab my crystal. Whatever. We've got the death card as for how you appear. And we see here in this image that there may be a breakup or it's just an ending. There's someone putting up their house for sale. People are kind of packing the car. Kids are waiting in the house, like not really sure what's going on. It's a major change, and people see you going through a major change. Something's different about you. Not quite sure what. It may not even look all that positive to some people. They may be like, oh man, you know, he or she is really going through it, and they just aren't like they used to be. And I hope they're okay and stuff like that. It could be a very necessary change for you. It may not be felt by you as being all that positive, but let's just get on to the rest of the reading and see what's affecting you, why people are seeing you differently. So for what you have, we have the world reversed. World reversed is like, I want to get out there and put myself out there. I want to finish up what I've been working on for a really long time. I want to just, even this person's like in New York City, like just, living their dream and doing the most. And when it's reversed, it just means that it's just not that. You may feel like you aren't going out as much as you used to. You don't have the presence of being in public or going out with friends or just being out and about as much. And part of it is because you're not ready for some reason. I'm going to compare this to its opposite card and see if there's a clue there. But it's just sort of like you're hiding away to some extent. There's other cards I would see for that would show that more strongly. It's more like, I wish this could just be over with. And sort of a lot of focus on material things having to do with not being able to go out and participate in the wish fulfillment that you would like to. For what you're thinking about, we've got the Queen of Cups and the Two of Swords. So you're thinking a lot about a decision that you have to make, and it's an emotional decision with the Queen of Cups. You're feeling like you want to be sensitive and compassionate in this decision making as well, but you're at the same time, like, her eyes are closed. It's like Lady Justice is giving that, you want to be unbiased and be objective in your decision making. So you definitely have a lot on your mind. I mean, in this image with the Queen of Cups, she's sort of, there's like an open letter and maybe bills due or like bad news or something to that effect. And she's really upset about it. But there's a supportive character here as well that's like, hey, what's going on? I got your back, that kind of energy, which is leading back to the Queen of Cups being a very emotionally supportive card. You may have to be making a decision about someone that you are emotionally supportive with, someone that has kind of been leaning on your shoulder, that has been needing you for a lot of that support, but you have to make a decision about them. Next, we have what's going on in the home, and we've got the Four of Pentacles reversed. Really tough right now to keep anything in the house. As soon as you get money, it's all out for bills. As soon as you get, groceries in the house, they're already eaten. Can be really hard to build up any type of emergency fund, savings, stockpiling. Anything is not happening right now at the house. And you may feel like your savings are even being drained and dwindling. And there's definitely quite a few finance cards here. So I definitely see that's hitting you hard this month. But let's move forward. Let's get some help for you. It's so relatable. I hate that for you, but it's like, we all go through time periods where money just ain't doing its money thing, where there may not be enough, and it's a challenge to learn and grow. I actually see that in this card over here, so we'll get to that. Next is your self-expression, and it's the Four of Swords. That's these two are definitely connected here. The Four of Swords is a rest, relaxation. It's taking time out, spending time alone. Maybe, in this picture, there's all this work around her. She's at work probably, and she's just kind of like smelling what is that? I honestly don't know. She's smelling something. Oh, it could be like a bubble wand. Anyway, she's doing anything but what she has around her. There's a lot of work and all this stuff piled up. But in the sense of this reading too, I just feel like if this is your self-expression, maybe that's why people are seeing you different. You're not vibrant right now. You might have a lot on your mind. There's a lot of stuff going on around you, and you're more subdued, maybe more serious, and more withdrawn. Could be just because your money's not up. Usually, maybe you're a person that likes to go out a lot, and that's just not possible right now with finances the way that they are. So that could explain that. Or you may be resting in a sort of recovery. Whichever way you look at it, for self-expression, this is a very quiet and held back. Could even be a little anxious. Could even be in mourning. But I'd see other cards for that as well. I say just take it how it resonates, but it definitely looks like you are low energy in your self-expression. I can say that one for sure. Next, we have your work with the Knight of Pentacles reversed. It's unstable. Steady money, it's not coming in. This could be job loss for some of you. But it's definitely like this is the stable money card, and it's reversed. Maybe sometimes, it's feast or famine normally with your work, but this could also just show there's not like a lot of contracts coming in, or if you're in the service industry like me, there's just people aren't coming in to eat or to drink. And that just means that your finances are looking pretty tight right now because there's an instability around your work and around your streams of income. So, relationship, we've got the hangman. I mean, you're really sacrificing a lot for someone in your life right now. Um, it could border on the point of martyrdom. I think this kind of goes back to this of the emotional support and making a choice. Can you afford to continue supporting this person? I think something about you and your compassion is feels fed by feeding others, but you can't keep enough in your own household. So the question is, are both parties being fed here, or is someone starving to feed another? I think on this as above deck, we're going to get some more answers for that in particular. Card 8, what do others have? It's the Queen of Swords reversed. If that's this person or maybe just the community around you at large, family, acquaintances, just people that you see from your perception, others having Queen of Swords reversed, man, criticism, judgment, harsh judgment, unfair judgment. Some people may have been coming around and telling you, hey, you're effing up. Why don't we see you anymore? You've changed. Maybe this person is saying what you're doing is not enough, or it's not on my terms. But there's definitely people around you that are being freaking judgmental, cruel, critical. And like a lot of that for this type of person is coming from an inferiority complex. So maybe if people that are being this way with you, if you've known them a while and they've seen you when you were at your best, and now they've got some nasty shit to say because you're not doing well, that's because they felt inferior to you, and now they see a vulnerability, which is an opportunity for a not well-adjusted person to strike. And I mean, this person's my way or the highway thinking. If you relate that back to someone that you're currently supporting, it's like they ask for I have a particular thing in mind, but I don't want to say it because it's too personal. They ask for a cake. And you say, I can't do that for you, but I can offer you this cookie. And they're like, no. It's like, well, get your own cake. Oh, I can't, I need you. I can't do that. Now get me a cake, so I don't know why I'm reminded of that. I hope that's relevant and not just a sneak peek into someone I'm dealing with. But anyway, next we have what you're learning. And we have the 9 of Cups reversed. That's really tough, man. I mean, this is the wish come true card. Reversed, I see it as broken dreams, unrealistic pipe dreams, especially. For you to be learning that, this is not a universal wisdom. This is what your mind is like, assessing your situation and saying, oh, this is my conclusion. It's not a happily ever after situation. Life's hard and life sucks. And that's like what you're bringing into your consciousness right now with what's going on in your life is like, I don't deserve to be happy. I don't even want to say it. Man, that's awareness is ammunition for you, and forewarned is forearmed. Be aware of attaching yourself to these types of beliefs and knowledge and gaining that kind of expectation out of life because of what's going on currently. This is just a thing that happens to everyone. There's always rainbow at the end of the rain. I would be very cautious and careful with your beliefs about yourself and your beliefs about the universe. because I know it's really difficult with people kind of hanging on, you not looking like yourself anymore, not being able to feel like yourself anymore. That card definitely shows that how they see you is somewhat accurate. Like they're like, you are not yourself right now. And it's because you're under a great deal of stress and feeling of lack, and more going out than's coming in. And you've got someone over here that it could even be a kid. I mean, sometimes these situations are unavoidable, but like you're having to make hard choices. That is really weighing on you. It's diminishing your self-expression. The work situation is not helping. Other people over here are being nasty, and like it's understandable why you would come to that kind of conclusion. But this is a temporary situation. These types of beliefs can set in and do a lot of damage. So I just caution you to keep your hope. Hope card. Next one for what you've built with the star reversed. Again, this is like, if you believe that you can't get your dreams, then you'll just end up with broken dreams. You're going to continue to have dreams. I would agree that some are not worth having. Some things are sort of fantasized about or imagined before the important details are really known, like what it will take to get there, what it'll really be like when you get there, things of that nature. But that still doesn't exclude every dream that we might have for ourselves. Some things just stick with us. We find out reasons why it might be harder than we thought, or experience setbacks, and it's still like, I just can't let this go. You shouldn't. I mean, what are we doing all of this for? This whole life situation, without something to aspire to and something to enjoy in our lives. And looking at values and what's important to you could start to become a theme for you. But more than anything, like, this belief leads to these results, and the tarot, the universe, your guides, whoever led you here, okay, they really want you to recognize this relationship, make choices that honor your emotional needs, respect that even a feeling of lack can be overcome with feelings of hope and appreciation. Like, if you can see this card, let me show you. So there's the kids playing in the pool. It's like a beautiful summer day, and she's just like enjoying her family and her children and like the innocence of watching them play. And like, this isn't, Disney World. This isn't $1 million. This is an everyday life experience that, like, if you look at this in real life, this can be had for very inexpensively. Like, go to a public park if you don't have a yard, and play on a splash pad, or like, this is something that is obtainable for most people in most situations. Hopefully it is for you. Experiences like this, okay? Something that can just give you a simple joy, a feeling of being alive and experiencing things from a childlike, innocent perspective, being in the moment, appreciation for what you have, and not focus on what you don't. I think you might be tending to want to be more practical in order to solve the situation, and I understand that completely. Pipe dreams and things like that are not really going to do it, and can even set you further back. And I know that might be something that you could have experienced recently, or something that you're very guarded against doing. But while you're working on resolving your work situation, resolving your home financial situation, clearing up whatever's going on with people in your life, so that there is a fair balance and that you are supported, that you're to be supported doesn't always mean someone else comes in and does the, like, I'll save you situation. Sometimes feeling supported is supporting yourself, which means what can you literally do if you can't find a new income source immediately, or you've already done everything you can with both these things and it's still tough? What about you? Like, let's look for the things that I'm grateful for that I still have. I still have a roof over my head, or a phone to watch this video on, or something like that. You know, there's still things in your life that are worth appreciating, and the energy around appreciation is very healing. It's very powerful. It'll set everything in motion for you to be emotionally stable, so that you're in a good place to make good choices, so that you can keep up your resiliency to deal with these situations in the best way you can possible. Even to give you some more energy for your self-expression, so that you can be more like your old self. Because even though you're going through hard times, you still appreciate that. I mean, if you have to go there, things could be worse. Or that you're still very blessed. You're just having a rough go of it. It's definitely a theme here. Next, we have your friends. So this is like your wider circle, not the immediate people maybe that live in your home, but like wider associations, friendships. Devil reversed. And I do wonder if this has something to do with people that you're martyring yourself for, because we see with the devil reverse is kicking a bad habit, getting rid of toxic people, identifying and removing them from your life. And I mean, the rattlesnake theme here, right? It's like poison is, the venom is a poison that can kill, but it's also used in the antidote. And it's like, identifying people that have been poisoning you and removing them. Very good work. I mean, like that's a step on the road to dealing with this situation. I know exactly how hard it can be to let people go. I think because of all this situation, you were able to do this because it was out of necessity. Like maybe you had a much larger, associations and friend group, and you were like constantly going out and seeing them all the time, and making time for so many people, but you had the energy to do that. Aries rising, like you had the energy to do that. But now with the situation as it is, and people in your life that you probably don't want to kick out right now, taking quite a bit from you, you don't have the time or the energy for everybody. So let's let go of the people that probably should have got kicked to the curb a minute ago, people that didn't give as much as they were getting from you, people that were maybe not on the same growth path as you. Like if you got along really well, maybe years ago, but now it's like, okay, I've been working on myself, like you're in an initiation right now. I've been making progress and going through big changes, and you're just kind of the same person that we were back in college or whatever the case may be, right? So it's sort of like, it doesn't always have to be like they're toxic people. It can also just be like, this isn't good for me anymore. This relationship isn't good for me anymore. And so like, I'm just going to withdraw from it in peace and no harm, no foul, I guess. But I wonder if you think about it, could you have done that, or would you have done that if you still had energy plus, if you still had money plus, and you could devote time to people who really weren't giving to you what you needed? Life has a way of putting us in situations to get us to do other things that we need to take care of. It brings certain things to a highlight that maybe we didn't see before. It was in a blind spot. Last on this round, we have your limitations, and it's the Six of Pentacles. You are trying to figure out right now, one of the biggest challenges for you is determining what's a need and what's a want, especially financially, because you're not able to give to both. walking past beggars, her purse is open. She has the desire to give, but does she have enough to make these people's lives, fantastic? Like, no. And neither do you. There's regrettable life situations people are going through all around all of us. And it can hurt to see people really suffering around us, people even asking us for help. But we cannot do that at detriment of ourselves. Certainly, you must have worked hard to get to a point where you were able to give. And it's not really about a merit-based thing, but I'm trying to lead you to understanding that if you have trouble seeing your own value and you're more focused on others, I see a lot of focus on others this month. And I ask you to see yourself as objectively as possible, as though you were another person, and be like, well, she or he is really giving a lot to these kids, man. There's always stuff with the kids, or always stuff with the spouse that's, hurt or injured or something, or always something going on with this friend that or this parent. And it doesn't seem like they have time for themselves anymore. And they don't have as much as they used to. They're not going out as much. They seem emotionally distressed. They're just not their old selves. I'm concerned about them. Wouldn't you think that about someone who was doing everything that you're doing and going through what you're going through? Give yourself some grace, give yourself some help. Let the purse be closed so that you can restore your stocks, and then you can give. But that, I think maybe you're in the habit of doing that, and you've been able to do that, which is wonderful. But this situation is wanting to swing that pendulum a little bit back to center, where you're giving as much as you're getting. That's it. Okay. So I'm going to pause again and deal your next 12 cards, and then we'll go through it. Okay. As you can see, we got a ton of cards for you, but they were very clear. We're going to get through it. So let's just get started. First, we have who you are, and we have element of fire reverse, which is the Ace of Wands. Just drained, directionless, uninspired. It's like the antithesis of everything Aries rising typically, which is why you seem so different, why you feel so different. You just don't have that spark, that creative problem solving. Let's find a way through this right now. And I mean, that must be very jarring to you as an Aries rising, because that's normally something you come by so easily and so naturally. But I see through the rest of these cards that's for a very good reason, and we're going to get into why. Next, we have what do you value? And it's the Ace of Cups. You value giving. You value sharing emotions. You value being open and honest and charitable with your feelings. And normally here on the traditional deck, we would see a hand presenting a cup that's overflowing with water. And that goes back to the previous round of just like you just want to give and help and share, even if it's not tangible financial resources, certainly your emotional support and your emotional bandwidth and things of that nature. And that's very valuable, but it's important to understand that it's this value system of giving and having more than enough to give is what is driving a lot of the issues right now, because I think that you're being asked to fill your own cup first right now for so many reasons. So what needs to change? We've got the Two of Cups reversed, the Page of Swords reversed, and Judgment reversed. With these three, you've got to change these relationships. There's relationships where normally these would be people from two different backgrounds with two different skill sets, two different strengths of weaknesses, giving to each other to be better than the sum of their parts. And with it reverse, it's saying you have so much to offer and so much to give, and you're attaching yourselves and giving to people that can't offer you anything. They can't offer you any place where you're deficient, anything other than just this value here of giving. But you're not seeing how there are people that you could be participating in exchange with at giving and receiving, where you could fulfill your value of giving, but not drain your cup completely on someone that isn't capable of giving back to you. And with that, with the Page of Swords reversed, it's a negative mental habit, negative conceptions and assumptions about things. It's pretty general on it by itself, but it's leading back to, you've got to hope for the best with the stars and the Nine of Cups reverse that we talked about up there. Expect the best. You're strong enough to deal with all kinds of things that happen to you and in your life. But don't expect the heartbreak before it happens, because that will invite even more of that into your life, because that's the universe is like, oh, you expect bad? Okay, here you go. Like it's not a good or bad thing to the universe. It's like that. This is what you expect to see. And we're manifesting all the time. And last, we have Judgment reversed. And my immediate thought is like, you've seen red flags with these people and you've ignored them. And I think that maybe you were hard on yourself when you saw the red flags. You saw something that was like, okay, this person really isn't doing right for themselves. This person doesn't want to compete in life. We'll get to that in a second. But like they're not, doing their part to heal themselves, to help themselves. They're not doing their part to help themselves. And then you felt bad about that thought. So you ignored a red flag. I mean, we'll get more. This reading is going to tell you what the outcome of that is for the people that you're helping. What's driving you? Nine of Swords reversed. I mean, you're just trying to get out of this negative thought space. And I know you see a problem with it. I know that you feel like trapped by it in a sense, that it's been maybe an ongoing thing for quite some time. Absolutely understandable, relatable. Like when I'm telling you, don't feel bad about that. Or that, like, I feel like maybe there's something that's escaping your awareness with why this whole negative thought process kind of got started. And I do think that this, what you need to change here, beating yourself up for excluding people who aren't worthy. And there's a reason why you do that. And we're going to get to that. This is such a good reading, actually. It's very clear. Next is, what do you need to do now? And it's the Three of Pentacles. You are very, very skilled in something. And that thing people want from you, whether it's a trade or a service that you can provide, something that you are very good at. You probably already have people that have been in your life saying, oh, I'd love if you could do that for me. Or, even asking you, hey, can you come over and fix my car? I don't have any money. Like, you need to be paid well for your skills and talents. And there are people waiting to pay you. They're just not maybe the people that are directly around you right now at this time. Demand money for your skills and talents. They have value. You have value. This could also mean going into work for yourself, starting a creative business, going into work with maybe a partnership with two other people with a three. Everybody has a different skill. Like maybe you're really good at, I'm thinking finance, you're good at working with numbers, and then maybe someone else has like a creative idea, and someone else is like a a really good networker, and then like the three of you could bring something big, something very prosperous into reality there. And you need to have, this is the what you need to have the courage to do is this placement as well. So it's not going to be something that is done lightly, but it is going to feel like moving towards something that feels right, in the sense of, I'm already so good at this and people want to pay me for it. Like, yes, they do. I absolutely do. Next, we have the details you may miss. And I got like some clarifier cards for this, because there is a person in your life right now, could be a coworker. I was kind of getting like maybe a boss, that is an emotional manipulator. They be manipulating. They're a manipulator. Okay. They're emotionally manipulating you. And here's how they're doing it. 7 of Earth. They aren't looking at what's right in front of them. They circle around any practical issues that you might bring up. So for example, you say, I'm not getting enough hours here at work. And they're like, you have the best schedule that is available right now. You already get, they're going to just kind of weave around and not really talk about the matter at hand. They don't want you to look at the matters at hand. They are purposefully trying to distract you from something that's very clear and obvious. If you could look and take a step back and look at it objectively, there's something very clear and obvious that they are trying to distract you from and manipulate you away from noticing this elephant in the room, especially if it regards something to do with your money. Page of Cups reversed. They use emotional manipulation tactics, emotional negative messaging. We really value you here, but all of this complaining is really bringing the rest of the crew down. And we're worried that like you're not really doing your part. You used to be so positive, and now everyone else, you're bringing down morale, and we really can't have that. But we're concerned about you. It's a very like, oh, I'm bringing the rest of the crew down because I brought up something that's a serious problem. I'm not here to be a charity. This is my job. This is my money. This is what matters ultimately. So there's emotional games here. And it's putting you off balance. It's putting you in a place where you're giving more than you're taking. Again, a recurring theme for you this month. But I also see that this person is very off balance. They may be an alcoholic or abusive to substances in some other way. They can also be very hot and cold. So at one moment, they're being all sweet and nice and gentle. And the next moment, they're raging out, or they're being very cold or distant or dismissive. And it's just sort of on the flip of a dime. This person is going to, you're going to see how rejection is protection with this. So here, let's move on to others involved. And I specifically asked about anyone that you were self-sacrificing for. And we got the 5 of Wands reversed. And I alluded to this a little bit earlier, but this person does not want to compete. And as an Aries rising, you learned very young that a lot of things in life require you to put yourself out there, invest your energy, and fight for what you want. You have to compete. And a lot of things in life. And this person doesn't want to do that, doesn't believe in it, can't do it, in the air quotes, can't do it for whatever excuse or reason that they might come up with. Your results may vary, okay? But like, they do not want to compete. And the problem is that you're enabling them to not have to be competitive. Maybe they've sold you an emotionally manipulative sob story. Maybe, they've had a run of bad luck, and you kind of feel for them. But at the end of the day, you are giving too much. They could be doing more that the fact that this is here says that they could be doing more. It's not saying they're sick, they're, been rejected, they've been injured, or they're disabled or anything like that. It's saying they don't have the willpower to put themselves out there, take a risk, and fight for what they want. They would rather manipulate you in whatever way that they are doing, to let others take care of them and their needs. And, Aries rising, you've got Libra in your 7th house. You're going to, throughout your lifetime, come across many Libras, maybe Libra suns, but people that are participating and behaving in Libra-like things. They're very sweet. They're good talkers, good communicators. They're fence sitters with themselves and with others. They have a sense of what they believe is right and fair and what is unfair that can often be divorced from nature. Okay. So if people around you right now are saying, well, it's just not fair that I didn't get that position. So I'm going to just kind of need help right now because I didn't get that position and it wasn't fair. Instead of looking at the nature of humans, of life, and saying, sometimes unfair things happen. Okay. But then also maybe I wasn't qualified. Maybe I didn't try hard enough. Maybe I didn't put my best foot forward. Maybe, I effed up the interview, or instead of looking at any other objective reasons that could be going on for why their life is in shambles to the point where they need others' help, they fall back on their resources of, if it wasn't good to me, that means it was unfair. And I shouldn't have to compete, and I can just use others to get myself to where I need to be. Because a Libra's skill and talent is in networking. And I'm not here to call out all Libras. You might even be a Libra sun right now watching this. I'm not here to call anyone out. I'm saying that when Libra energy in general shows up negatively, it's always... not always. It's very much going to be a kind of a pity party and just using that strength and skill in their personalities of networking and communication and just talking to people and understanding people to a negative end. If they understand that your weakness in this situation is that you're a very giving person and that it's emotionally driven, then they're going to go ahead and pull on your heartstrings and be emotionally manipulative because it's a means to their end, and they have their own sense of right and wrong. That is not, you may, okay, this is something I come up a lot in readings. You may be supposing that these people are operating on the same right and wrong sense of justice that you do. But I'm here to tell you that there's as many different justice systems out there in the world as there are people, because each one of us has our own morality, our own, what's okay and what's not okay in behavior. And so they're operating on a different level. They're operating from a place that doesn't see a problem with you giving and giving and giving to them, to the point where you have almost nothing, where you're, placed in a situation of instability because it's benefiting them. And ultimately that's where their value system is. These people, not all Libras, of course. I have people in my life that are Libras I love very much, and they're wonderful people. I'm just talking about energy here. Next, we have Secrets, which took me a little second to pull this card for you, but it's the 5 of Cups, and I got more information on it. So let me just say, something that has escaped your awareness through all of this, is that you've been traumatized. Something has traumatized you. And because of that, you are now seeing examples of the trauma pop up all around your life because you haven't reached awareness of it yet. What is that thing? So we have, with your next card is your aspiration, and we see a negative card here with the Page of Pentacles or the page Ace of Pentacles reverse, which is a spending till I have nothing, financial lack, poverty. It's tough, okay? If that's in your aspiration, it shows that there's a disconnect between what you think you want and what is boiling down beneath the surface. I got more cards on that so we can help you, okay? This is the trauma. Opportunity missed, opportunity not given. To have an opportunity. This is like, I didn't get the message. I wasn't able to hear back from a opportunity that I wanted, or I couldn't wait long enough or be patient enough to come up with a plan. I really feel like there's a missed opportunity here for most of you. This is what has traumatized you, like getting passed up for a job or a promotion. It could even go further back than that. Like not really having the parental attention and investment to be able to go to a good college and then have a lot of good financial opportunities. And there's a wounding there because of that. Or maybe there's something like that happened to you in school where that didn't work out, or in childhood, maybe there was a tough situation that kind of locked you out of some of the opportunities that you would have liked to have, and that limited your freedom from your perception. And this is at the basis of what has traumatized you. And then what has traumatized you is at the basis of why now you're giving constantly to people that you feel like you see that in others. Now, again, that's your perception. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's what they're going through. Could be. But you don't want anyone that you meet in your life to have to go through this feeling of rejection and being locked out of things that you wanted. You don't want anyone to feel that type of rejection. It's really rejection, which is why you don't want to reject others. But rejection is protection, as I said over here. And I'll tell you why. Sometimes the things that we want are not the things that are best for us because we just simply didn't have there's a couple different reasons. Reason one, we didn't have all the information about what that thing would really be like, or what it would really feel like, or what it would take to get there, what it would take from us. Option two is that we are operating under the desires are coming from someone else's mouth. You think that you want this thing because you think that you should. Because of the influence of a parent, the influence of a group that you're a part of, influence of society, influence of gender roles. There could be all sorts of different things, right? It's like whatever applies for your situation. But that didn't come authentically from us. Therefore, if we got it, when we got it, it wouldn't fit because it didn't come out. It's not right for you. It could be right for so many other people. You know, you go and ask for advice. Well, what do you think I should do? Well, I think you should go into the medical field and become a nurse because they make really good money. And like, you know, and they may be very genuine in giving you this advice and absolutely mean it with no ill will. But the thing is that if you go into all of that and you come to find out that, you know, there's some major things about what feeds you as a person that are missing from that. Or there's some major things that really prey upon maybe some of your weaknesses. Like, standing and running around for 12 hours a day, dealing with the emotional burden, the emotional attachment. You have to have a certain level of detachment to do that kind of work and be able to turn it on and off. And like, it seems to me, maybe you don't. Okay. But this is all hypothetical. The thing is that when you were rejected, for whatever reason it was, whether it happened a long time ago or recently, whether it's happened more than one time or it's just kind of lingered, a closed door doesn't mean all doors are closed. There are still open doors around you. The closed doors might have seemed nice, might have looked good. And unfortunately, if it's a closed door, you may not find out for yourself right away. But the door that is right for you will never be closed. You're not going to always see it coming. In fact, a lot of times you don't. And I definitely empathize with that. But this is such a big world. There's always something left unoccupied for you to fit right into that just makes so much sense. It feeds your soul. It plays to your strengths. It doesn't come for your weaknesses in any way that you can't handle and grow from. And you've got to look at this pain and this traumatization from that lens. Look for how this experience made you strong. Look for ways for it to continue to make you strong. And understand when you have that impulse to give and give and give, that's perfectly fine. And a wonderful personality characteristic that you got from this trauma that you may not have had if you didn't go through this. So that's a positive right there. The thing is, it must be applied with discernment because not everyone deserves or will benefit from your giving. In fact, a lot of the people that ask for giving are the last people that should get it. That's going to sound so harsh. Don't click off. But you want like-minded people. And I don't see anything here of you asking people for help. Maybe you should. But I'm really not seeing anything of like, I need help right now. You're just like, oh, this sucks. This is hard, but I still feel like I need to give. Because this is so much deeper than any exterior circumstance that you're dealing with. This is at your core. You've got to rectify this with giving back to yourself by not attaching yourself to people who won't compete, won't do anything for themselves, cause more harm to you than you could ever give to them in goodness and help and assistance, are here to emotionally manipulate you to get what they want. That's why all these people are around you right now, because you have to find yourself in all of this and start giving back to yourself, start advocating for yourself. Recognize your worth, because you're too worthy for these people that are around you begging, and you're not doing them any good. And I'm going to get to that, but I just want to quickly say that when you feed someone, they eat and their bellies are full, but being able to farm or fish for oneself, that food tastes so much better and it lasts a lifetime. And you're depriving them of that opportunity when you help them. So what is the achievement here? I asked for a positive card and I didn't fucking get one. So I'm a little pissy with the tarot right now. But I do want to say that if you're here watching this reading, this is your sign that you still have an opportunity to turn things around, and to make changes that will completely change this part of the reading. And what you're aspiring towards, what you're achieving, how you're affecting people, and all of that will all change if you're able to look at these issues. And we'll go back over them like in a summary, right? But what are you achieving? It's 9 of Pentacles, dependency. 4 of Cups, not accepting what's offered. Is that not what I talked about? Like well, it's been a minute ago now, but with like that stupid cake and cookie reference. Like, that is what you're creating: dependent people who are choosing beggars. That is what you're creating with all of this. And that is why would you be okay with being a person like that? No, you're going to go out and take care of your business. You're not going to be begging around for assistance and then saying, no, I want you to give me this. You're just going to be grateful for whatever the hell was offered. The value system of these people that you are giving to that haven't done anything to help themselves is another world away from where your value system is at. And you've got to accept that. You've got to see it. The signs are all there. You've got to see it. And don't beat yourself up for seeing it. Are you going to beat yourself up for, noticing that something is a color red instead of a color blue? Like, it's just really, it is how it is. And you're doing more harm than good by taking pity on people who won't help themselves. And we see that here. We've got the moon reverse with truth revealed, 6 of Pentacles, giving, 10 of Cups. So this is for what you're doing for other people. How are you affecting other people? With the moon reversed, you are shedding some light and some truth. You're putting a temporary stop to confusion and delusions, and some level of suffering from being isolated in the dark and all of those kinds of things. Like, moon upright is not knowing what way to go. It's about like treachery or lies. It can be also abuse of substances. It can be mental health issues. You're providing a safe haven for that by giving. But it's just like I said a second ago, with being able to feed oneself by using one's own actions to go out and get that food. It feels completely different. This is not a sustainable situation with the 10 of Cups reversed. It doesn't feel earned by these people. They still feel a very deep sense of emotional lack because of the dependency. And it's preventing them from going on the journey to get to this. It's like a happy family card. It's a completion, emotional completion card. There's so many different, there's 9 different emotional cards before you get to the 10. There's 10 in each suit. And each one has a place in a person's life for needing to be experienced to get to that true emotional fulfillment. And that emotional fulfillment is what damn near everybody on this planet is seeking. But because you're helping them, you're preventing them from experiencing things like the 5 of Cups, which is sorrow, heartbreak, and trauma. Yes, those things are necessary to get to the 10. Because you don't see the value of good until you experience bad. And you are preventing a rock bottom. And one or many people, even like with your boss, maybe if you left that they'd be screwed. Screw them. Like that's their rock bottom because they did wrong, or they're, who knows why. It's not for you to know. What you do know matters, and it'd be nice if you can convince others that are in control of a situation. Hey, I really see this going bad. We should do this. If they're resistant to it and they're the ones in control, then where's your control at? Where's your power at? It's in your 2 feet as you walk out the door and you never return. That's the best you can do. And the same with overly giving to people because you've been hurt and you don't want people to feel that way. I understand. The way that you can overcome this impulse that's driving all of this is to understand how the way that you were hurt gave to you just as much as it took from you, if not more. And don't prevent people from getting that experience for themselves. Resiliency, self-reliance, appreciation of the things that you do have, fighting spirit. Would you have had any of those things had you not gone through rejections and being excluded? How are they supposed to learn any positive things like wanting to compete, being willing to compete, if they don't go through their own rejection? That right there can heal you if you let it. What needs to be let go of? We've got the Empress reversed and the World reversed. Seeing that, so the world is seeing that everything is connected and all things have their season and their time. That when you look at these people that are around you, that you're desiring to help, you're not wanting to hurt, you feel bad for judging them or anything like that. You're seeing a part of yourself in the past. You're not even really seeing these people. You're seeing yourself that was being traumatized. And because you're not understanding this connection, that's taking you to a place where who you really are right now is the goddess reversed, as the Empress reversed. So she isn't, she doesn't have everything that she needs. She's seeking in others to fill her cup. And it may have escaped your notice, but you have been attached to these people as much as they've been attached to you. It's just in a different way. Your self-worth is down right now. And your worthiness is dependent on keeping these people dependent. Right now, you feel that your worth is totally wrapped up in people needing you. And that's not fair to them either. And it's the Empress reversed is an overbearing and like a helicopter mom, worried and controlling and sort of mommy dearest also. Like there's a lot going on here with the energy that you're participating in right now that is ultimately toxic to the people that you're wanting to help, but it's just harder for you to see. And I understand. I don't want you to feel like I'm, piling on you right here, but when we need approval from others, that is a type of taking energy that other people, they notice it, first of all, whether subconsciously or consciously. And it results in people kind of feeling drained by the association. It can become a toxic relationship where there's high levels of dependency there. I saw something, I probably said this in a reading like last month, but I saw something talking about how, you have the narcissist and the empath, and that everyone looks at the empath as the perfect innocent victim. And he asserted that simply wasn't true, because the empath is addicted to the attention, and the need for approval is so great that that's part of why they stay attached. I mean, I know every situation is different, but it feels like that's the kind of energy that you're not calling anyone else a narcissist or anything, whatever, right? It's a analogy, but it kind of seems like that's the energy that you're participating in right now, that you've got to let go of dependency by way of being needed. And that's it. So now that we've gone through all of that horrible stuff, I really feel like I hope there was something in this reading that kind of sparked you and helped you understand more about yourself and about what's really going on here. Some things that may have escaped your vision. That was a little bit of a theme. And then that's all you need, is just to recognize that stuff. And let me go over it just one last time. I know we're already going on a pretty long video here. Okay. But what needs to change is giving to people who haven't deserved it, beating yourself up about recognizing red flags in others, and not being willing to reject them on the basis of their unworthiness to be in an equal give and take partnership with you. You have to have the courage to get together with someone else, create this new adventure, this new business, this new venture, financial venture. Recognize your own mastery, your own worth. Recognize that people will pay you well for it. Look out for this person who's emotionally manipulative. They're going to direct you from anything but the truth. They're going to give you mixed messages that are hot and cold. Could be related to your work and why maybe you just need to get the hell out of there. These people in your life that you're helping, they're not willing to fight for themselves. They're not willing to help themselves. They need to learn those skills because you've been traumatized by missing out on opportunities, by being shut out or excluded. You now are insulating them from having this experience. But this experience was the very one that allowed you to become strong and resilient, to gain your own strength to deal with difficulties without having to lean on others, and to give you that cup that you had once filled, that's now being drained. You're preventing them from this very necessary experience that you have already been through. And now you are looking at people as your past self instead of who they actually are and seeing them for their authentic selves. That's it. So let's get a spell card for you, Aries rising, something that they may find interesting or be useful for them this month. Yeah. Ring of Power. Wasn't that like a crappy Lord of the Rings show on like Apple TV a couple of years back? I don't know. I like the visuals, but it was just milk toast in every other way. Okay. Ring of Power. Most people don't realize that the classic charm bracelet is decorated with magical symbols representing the wearer's wishes. Oh, a charm bracelet. Okay, that's cute. For wealth, wear a Roman coin on your bracelet. For love, try a heart. For protection, a pure silver ring worn on the right pinky has the greatest magical power, especially when engraved with your birth sign or astrological glyph and the sacred pentagram. A pure silver ring worn on the right pinky, especially when engraved with your birth sign or astrological glyph. Like for you, it could be like Mars or Aries rising. And the sacred pentagram. To instill the ring with protective power, clasp it over your heart and call out, "Ring of Power, shield and encircle me. Blessed be." I'll lift that up for y'all to pause if you want to read that again. All right. Well, that's all I have for you this week, Aries. This month, whenever. Aries rising. I hope you enjoyed that. And my name's Podkane, and I switched to the wrong scene. Whoops. My name's Podkane, and I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got something from that. I wish you all the best. Know that this too shall pass, and you're going to take everything that you need to learn and grow from this situation and come back even stronger than you were before. Until I see you next month, bye.